So, happy birthday to you. I'm supposed to be a kazoo.
Whose birthday is it?
It's ours, kind of.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it has been neither 365 days nor 52 episodes. I think when this releases, it's going to be like episode 30, maybe like episode 40. No, because we have some in the bank. Anyways, but we've been around for roughly a year, a little over a year, and Katie has us playing the game Taboo. We're not allowed to talk about the one thing I want to talk about. So we had to come up with another topic, a little sizzle for next week. We have a guest
Dempsey
on.
was like, oh, what's our topic this week? Well, he secretly wanted it to be next week's topic this week, and I told him, no talkie.
No talkie.
So, anyways, so we're gonna do a little bit of a self-indulgent, retrospective of the past year, what it's been like for us doing this podcast, some favorite topics, some guests. Where do we want to take the podcast in the future? Things like that. Before that, though, per usual, we have not met for like the past 3 weeks. What have we been playing this week? Oh, wait, Katie won't let me talk about it. Katie, what have you been playing?
Well, first of all, this is Overthinking Games, a podcast about what video games can teach us. We have been podcasting for a year, but you wouldn't know it. My name's Katie, and I'm joined by our co-host Dempsey, who did our introduction, and our co-host Seth.
Hi.
Say hi, Seth. There we go. All countries heard from.
We're Model UN
This
now.
week... This week, I actually got to play something really, really special to me. I went to visit my brother who lives in a different state, and the whole family got to go, which was really fun. And we managed to get Burnout 3 running. And that is an old game from I can't even remember. Maybe it's 2002 or something like that. Yo, it has held up really, really well. Okay, so it's a racing game where you earn basically like jet fuel. It's called Burnout, or it's called I can't think what it's called. It's the fast stuff that makes you go fast.
NOS?
And you earn it, basically. And you earn it by like driving the wrong direction and having near misses and making opponent cars crash and drifting and getting air and all this, like driving really unsafe, makes you go fast. And when I was a kid, my brother and I played it, and we would play the world tour mode, and we would each take turns playing races until we had all of the gold medals. And I think I was probably in middle school when I played this. It was so much fun. So we got it running this weekend, and I got my little nephew playing it, and he got a gold star on one of the crash maps, and everybody was rejoicing. And my husband played, and he had so much fun. And it was one of those things like we're all sitting on the living room floor cross-legged. Like there's a couch behind us, but we're sitting on the floor in a row. We're just keep handing the controller over. And and I just remember we were playing, and like there was some wine involved, and I was like, this is the most fun that I have had in I don't even know how long. It was just the most like wholesome, nostalgic, like wonderful thing. And then I got my brother to help me put Burnout on my Steam Deck. And so now I have it at home. And so I've been playing that today since I got home yesterday. And yeah, it's crazy how much it's lived up to the memory, which doesn't usually happen. It's pretty cool. So how about you, Seth?
No.
No?
No.
Dempsey?
Me and Katie, you've played something else too that we should talk about.
What? I played something else that I should talk about.
With me.
Cult of the Lamb.
No. Well, that too. But you
Oh yeah, It Takes Two. We played It Takes Two. Sorry, I was on my nostalgia golden memory.
Me and Katie have been playing It Takes Two. We are midway through the squirrels. If you've played, you know what that means. What do you think about It Takes Two?
I like it a lot. The story is inane and I hate it, but I love take that TikTok, come at me, ratio me, baby. I don't like the story. I think they're both really unlikable characters. I think the Mexican love book's obnoxious, but I really, really enjoy all all of the I love the puzzles. I really enjoy the collaborative nature of it. And I really like how easy it is, honestly. Like, it's fun to be able to play something that doesn't require a ton of gaming skills or a ton of like puzzle experience. I'm playing it with my husband as well, and we're both having a good time with it. And it's just like super accessible, which I think is cool. What are you thinking about it? I know you've played it like 4 times.
Yeah, so I am constantly impressed with the production value. Like, this game looks so good.
Yeah.
It doesn't look realistic, obviously, but just like in the like the
cute.
design and like the lighting, and it's so beautiful. There are some like not just like generally well designed moments, but like some properly like and it's all some like properly beautiful moments. It's also very masturbatory, where like the characters in the game will talk about how beautiful the game is, which happens a lot.
He said that almost word for word whilst we were playing one of the cave levels, and I was like, masturbatory, what a adjective. What an adjective.
You know, well, you know, like
he liked it so much he used it twice.
Oh my god, that's how I feel about this game. It's very beautiful, and it enjoys the fact that it's very beautiful.
It enjoys itself.
Yeah, don't take that metaphor too far. But anyways, but and so I also
Not for
love
children.
I also love how it takes the ideas and throws them away so fast, and I really enjoyed the mini games. Katie beat me at one of the mini games. The mini games which involve shooting.
The shooting ones I'm good at. I'm good at shooting things.
Yeah. But it's been really good. It's because Katie's the first person I've played this game with who is used to video games. And it's going so much faster, and there's a lot less communication needed. Like, there's a lot of things that just happen naturally, and like the answer is so apparent that like you just kind of are used to the way that video games function and what their expectations is of you. Where everyone else I've played has not been like into video games as much.
It's not as intuitive.
Yeah, and so it's taken a lot longer with everybody else. But no, I love that game.
I can see that.
If you have anyone in your life at all that you want to play a video game with, that's such a good game to play.
And it's nice too. I really like the way that the levels are laid out. They're like 15-minute sections. You can feel like you've made progress in a relatively small amount of time, without feeling like it's too short as well, which is really nice for when you're trying to get someone to play who's not much of a gamer.
Yeah, and then the boss battles are pretty fun too.
They are. They're so creative.
Yeah. And then so It Takes Two has been good. I'm taking my turn now. I jokingly refuse to take a turn, and then I moved into a place that does not have a washer machine, so now I have to go to the laundromat, which means I have to choose a laundromat game to sit there and watch my clothes and play. So my laundromat game has been Balatro.
Mm-hmm.
And Balatro,
good laundromat game,
is a great laundromat game. Also, continuing on, I just listened to the entirety of the first Earthsea book by Ursula C. Guin, The Wizard of Earthsea. It was like, have you ever read these? They're so good. They're so good. So it's like, it would have been in like the late 60s or like the 70s. And it's like really classic fantasy, like a wizard that ponders an orb and like sits in a tall tower and slays a dragon every once in a while. Like, not a subversion of fantasy at all, but like really
like proper high fantasy.
Yeah, like really classic high fantasy. And it's about a wizard a kid who's told that he will be the greatest wizard to ever live. And over the course of the book, you kind of understand why most people don't practice magic, because it just makes his life super complicated. And he, through his own arrogance, really fucks up his life through trying to be a great wizard. It has a wizarding school, which is like so fun and good, and it's written so mythologically. So like
1968.
more like, think more like Tolkien and Lord of the Rings and less like Harry Potter or anything. Like it's very mythological. It's such beautiful prose. Like it's almost like pseudo poetry. It's so good. I loved it so much. It's like really like floppy hat, staff carrying, like orb pondering, classic wizard stuff. It's
like
such a good
David Eddings or those kind of classic fantasy authors.
Yeah,
That's
it's so
cool.
yeah, it's been so fantastic. I will listen to that and then play Bellatrix while I am babysitting my laundry at the laundromat.
Nice.
Okay, that is that is now my turn. Seth, what have you been playing?
The last time we talked, was the new Paper Mario game out yet?
No,
You had just talked about how excited you were to go play it.
Ah.
You had bought it, but you hadn't played it yet.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. So I beat that and 100%ed it.
Wow.
I played a lot of that game over the past couple weeks. I mean, it's like A star S rank double plus remake. Fantastic. Plays like super faithful to the original game. The art style is switched up a little bit, but in like a really good way. The original game didn't play like the paper gimmick super highly. The graphics here like switch it over a little bit, but also the remaster just looks fantastic in general. There's a few like little changes here and there. They added in like a Paper Mario is a weird game. Essentially, you get like equipable abilities. So they added an equipable ability that just gives you like the old music because they redid all the soundtracks.
Oh, that's cute.
So super cute. I love when games do that, especially remakes. Yeah, I mean overall, like obviously not like a super hard game. They fixed up some of the like level design stuff by just adding like, hey, here's a pipe we added in that acts as like a shortcut back to the start of the level. Thank God. Like one of the main complaints I think anybody has about Thousand Year Door is it's got some backtracking, so a few quality of life things sprinkled into that game, and I mean it feels fantastic. I'm already getting ready to play again sometime this summer. I just need like I need like a mental break before I get back into it.
That's I get that.
Yeah, fantastic game.
That's cool.
Otherwise,
That's funny. We've both gone down the nostalgia lane.
Hey, it's just how it has to be sometimes. It is, I will say, I think one of my very few complaints, it is a $60 game, which $60 for a remake doesn't feel great. It does have, with like the quality of life stuff added, and there is actually like 2 new boss fights. One of them's like hidden, plus a couple like other like random rewards for 100%ing. I would essentially see this as like a $40 remake plus like a $10 expansion is not a bad way to think about it. It's still overcosted by about $10, but you know what? I'll pay the Nintendo tax and we'll call it a day on that one. So
right,
not too many complaints about it. Let's see what else I've been playing. I've been playing some Elden Ring. I'm just kind of getting ready in the process. The Elden Ring DLC drops next week. Between the 20th and the 21st. So I have blocked
and you're on
out
summer break.
Yeah, and I'm on summer break. I got blocked out on my calendar the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And I told my girlfriend, listen, I'm playing Elden Ring those days. You're free to come over and like hang. But like, listen, I love you. I'm playing Elden Ring that weekend. And my boys all told their girls the same thing. So it's going to be Elden Ring weekend. So I'm getting back into the spirit of that. I've been trying to play a little bit of Slay the Spire, but I'm still kind of just like stuck on like Ascension 13 with Defect. So I've started climbing with the Watcher a little bit. Doom Eternal's on sale. I bought it for like $10. So I played
Yes. Good game.
So
Good
yeah,
good game.
I was able to get it for like $10, and I was like, yeah, I'll pay $10 for Doom Eternal. Why not? I played it for like, I don't know, maybe an hour. I got through like the first level, and then today I was like, all right, I'm good. I'll probably come back to this like this evening or something.
Yeah, you
but I'm
just
like,
start with the
$10.
shotgun in that game. It's so
Yeah.
fun.
Which,
There's no
I mean,
pretense.
fantastic. Yeah, it is a little. Doom Eternal's a little weird in the fact that like it just kind of starts you like in situ, and it just kind of assumes that like you know what's happening.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like sprinkles in some lore as you go, but the game really does kind of feel like they were like, let's just put him into it. Give him the super shock, or give him a shotgun. What's your first upgrade? Do you want it to explode, or do you want it to be automatic? And I was like, that's pretty sick.
Nice.
Yeah, because normally those kind of games would start with like a pistol first. Well, like you learn things, and then like an assault rifle or something like that. But no, you get just I love that game so much. Very good.
Yeah, so I got to play through it a little bit more. But I'm excited. Probably over the course of like the next week or so, I'll probably be playing some Elden Ring. Probably, I don't know if there's like games I want to hop back into. The Forbidden game, I definitely want to do another playthrough for, but I got to wait a little bit for that. I want to do another playthrough Paper Mario, but I got to wait for that. I just time to refresh. I don't want to play like too much Elden Ring right now. But me and my friends in our group chat are theorizing if there's a way to not level up an Elden Ring character and get to the spot where the DLC, where you're going to be able to enter the DLC, which I think would only require beating 2 major bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Did both of you guys play Elden Ring, or either of you play Elden Ring?
Yeah,
I've played it a little bit.
I rolled credits.
Oh yeah, you did roll credits.
I finished the Elden Beast, and then I started a new one, got to like the castle, and played other games.
Did you fight Moog, Lord of Blood? He's the guy in the blood guy down in the underground.
I don't know.
That's where the entrance
What's
to
his
the
name?
DLC is going to be.
I'm gonna Google this guy. What's his name?
Moog, Moghh,
Mowgli.
Lord of Blood.
Oh, not Mowgli.
Not Mowgli. So I'm trying to figure out if I can get to that guy without leveling up a character, so that I can start like a fresh character in the DLC, which I think would be a lot of fun.
Wouldn't that be really unbalanced? Oh yeah, I fought this guy. Oh yeah, okay. Well,
there's 2 versions of him. But... I'm just saying. So yeah, I mean, it would inherently be unbalanced, but I think it'd be like a fun challenge to like try and first of all see if I can get there in the first place, and then I think it would just be have like a fresh character, unleveled, like no equipment, to just be able to like hop into the DLC and see how things go.
Experience it the way that they intended.
Not really, because I don't think you're like the DLC is kind of like end game content. So I would definitely be like super underpowered for all of it, but it'd be kind of fun. So that's my bit.
Cool. I know my brother's
just
super excited about that coming out too. So
you can just roundhouse kick someone. That's why I want to play it.
That is pretty cool. I'll give you that.
I love because I did a Magic playthrough of someone who could not wield weapons, but the idea of doing a playthrough with someone who can also not wield magic and has to do like hand-to-hand combat is so funny.
He's a monk.
I really want
D&D monk.
Yeah, I really want to. That's like the one thing that's like, okay, if I can have an even more pathetic character, that's kind of my goal.
They have fist builds already. They have fist weapons that you can use.
Yeah, but it has like claws and things like that. I want just someone who just roundhouse kicks someone in like a common boot, and that's their main weapon. That's funny. I think Seth is.
Okay.
I'm back.
I think Seth is.
Seth is.
Frozen. You were frozen for a little bit.
Yeah, not bad.
I couldn't tell if he was just thinking or if he was.
I was saying they have fist weapons.
Yeah, but they're like weapons though. I think it's funny if it's not a weapon, if it's just barehanded.
You know what would be a fun way to play the game, Dempsey, is is if you were a pacifist and you went through the game and just tried to win by like persuading people.
What is this?
Yeah.
Like, I can't even remember the name of the game.
Baldur's Gate. That's how I play Baldur's Gate.
Undertale. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Undertale, exactly. Yeah, it's a 3D Undertale.
Yeah, I don't think you could do that.
No. Okay. All right. So we are a year old-ish. Good job, guys.
Ish. We're like a year and a month or two.
Something like that.
Something
Actually,
like that.
we can check this. Hold on. Apple will tell us when our first episode came out.
Our first episode was April 29th. So we're actually a little bit a smidge and beyond. Yeah. A smidge.
And by the time people are hearing this, it's going to be even later. We're going to be like,
oh well. Time is a construct. This is fine. Okay. So for you guys, this is not actually your first year though, because you had your previous attempt as well.
Yeah.
yes.
This our run through has been the longest continuous that you guys have done.
Yeah, and it's the time we started publishing them because we did them as practice. We did like forest practices or something like that.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay. Yeah, so is there anything now that like now you would tell previous you when starting a podcast?
Yeah. So no, because we did it pretty soon. Because I was like, I loved having guests on. Like that's my favorite part. But I think I knew that at the beginning, and also like within the first 10 episodes, we had a game dev on. So
Yeah.
Maybe I don't feel
It's true.
we had Pat Naum.
Well, that was like an interview
Episode
that
9.
you did, and then we did the one with
Episode
Josh.
9 and 10 were both interviews.
Yeah, it's actually
Yep.
kind of interesting. I hadn't realized that we had done those like so early.
And now it's been a minute since we've had one. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you wouldn't nothing to tell previous you. Okay.
Probably
How about you,
to
Seth?
post to TikTok more often.
I guess maybe it would have just been to like upgrade my audio equipment earlier. I think like I don't know. I mean, now I have like a fairly nice mic, and I don't have it like I've got like good cables and everything, so it's a little like less jostly and
More consistent.
yeah, more consistent. And I think consistency is always like king when it comes to stuff, right? So like being able to produce like a better product higher up front probably would have been good. Be like, hey, you're actually going to be doing this for like at least a year. Like it's fine to like invest into this a little bit.
Right. It's fair.
Yeah, I think our approach has gotten more and more relaxed. I think in the beginning
Yes.
we had a lot more hypothetical structure, and we've gotten more relaxed. But I think that's fine. I'm happy with that, and I think it allows other people to kind of guest on easier, so they don't have to fit our like defined formula and things like that. And it lets me be a little bit more unhinged as well,
Yeah.
which I think I enjoy. Having
Yeah.
batshit crazy takes, which are not actually. I feel like all my takes are pretty grounded, but the internet disagrees.
Most of them, I would say. Yeah. I think I would tell myself like just to relax more. I was so nervous the first like 10 episodes we did. I was so nervous. And anytime it was my turn to come up with a topic, I was so nervous. I've gotten a lot better. I used to like run out of air while I was talking and then have to do like a big gasp because I would forget to breathe. And that doesn't happen so much now. So that's my personal growth.
Dempsey, I was
Because
thinking
nervous.
on the point that you made. I feel like we kind of got all of our like basic ideas out of the way. And now
Yeah.
I feel like that's actually like a really good thing, because now I sort of have to like think about like, okay, what do I like want to talk about? And I kind of have to like invent some new ideas. And I think like
Sure.
I remember, I forget who said it the one time that I was reading it, but like, you have to like write your ideas down to like actually get them out of your head and like open up space for new ideas. So it feels a little bit to me like, hey, we kind of talked about all the basic stuff, and it gives me room to be like, oh, hey, here's some like cool new idea we could talk about instead. Whether that's like what have we talked about? Like physical digital games was like cool one. Game lengths when we last talked about. What did we last talk about?
Subversion.
Subversion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then our Tend and Befriend, where we bagged on that article.
I listened to that and I sound like a lunatic the whole time. Like I am having a fist fight with a shadow. Like this article from like 8 years ago.
And Brie Code is just out there living her life with her little development company. Like,
yeah, no.
Yeah, I think that we started out, we really wanted that strong connection between like games and like even like the academic side with the whole teacher thing. And I think that's still there, but we've just kind of recognized that, like we've said before, it's not necessarily a video game podcast. It's a podcast that uses video games to talk about other things. And I think that is super fun and cool. Talk about masturbatory. Look how great we are.
True.
I really hope I'm using that word right. I think I am.
How else would you use it? What do you mean, I hope I'm using it right?
Oh, God. Put it in your word web. Draw connections.
Do you have a favorite topic or a topic that you like let's say out of the first 10? So like out of the first 10, is there a topic that you think we should go back to? I think a topic that, and I think I bring up again, maybe it was in the first 10. I do like, so when we talk about the beginner's guide, I do like episodes that are dedicated to just one game. Yeah. I think that's super fun.
Especially a game we've all like we've all played through before. I think it really helps us like narrow in on that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really fun. I also kind of liked connecting video games to more explicit pedagogy, like looking back and things like that. Like that was kind of fun. Maybe we'll go back to that. I feel like now I'm even further removed from education though. So like every year that goes by, like because I work in marketing, maybe I should. There's a guy on TikTok who does. Do you follow the guy that's known for doing video game trailers? Anyways, there's a video game trailer editor who has a sizable TikTok account, and I want to get him on the podcast.
I think I know who you're talking about.
One of the episodes I really liked from the first 10 was like the episode about failure. I feel like that's one that we like sort of loop around to every once in a while.
Yeah, I thought that was one of mine as well.
It feels like it's sort of in our like canon of ideas that we just like keep revisiting to talk about.
You know, they say that learning is a spiral staircase, right? And you learn something new every time you go around. I feel like that's what our podcast is like.
Fair enough.
But in like a good way. Well, and like usually what I've noticed is the trends that like we'll come up with an idea for an episode and then the next episode will be that idea but slightly tweaked, and then we get deeper into it and it's just really fun.
Yeah, because I think what will happen is we'll have like an idea at the beginning of the episode, and then by the end of the episode it kind of feels like we're starting a new idea again.
Oh my God, I feel like every time every episode, it takes me until the end of the episode to be like, wait, I know what I think about this now.
Yeah. It's almost like we have like a live brainstorming session about like an idea. And yeah, I feel like it almost takes us to the end of the episode to figure out like what was the idea we actually wanted to talk about.
What are we even talking about?
And then that's where a lot of times I will get ideas for new episodes is at the end of an episode and be like, okay, how can I make this idea more specific, or like what are some other angles I can look at this idea? And I am less afraid of being repetitive, I think. Like I am a lot more comfortable with like doing a bunch of episodes over like a similar idea and then coming right back to it. I think is something that I used to try to like really diversify, but now if I have a pet topic that I'm thinking about for a couple months, I have no issues going back to it. Like subversion and genre and like a lot of those topics were kind of over the same thing, but I think it is worth like even Tend and Befriend a little bit. Like a lot of those are talking about like this idea of like genre and tradition and things like that. I think it started with violence in video games is really where I really started to think about genre and how the mechanics and narrative, because that's where we talked about like if the mechanics aren't violent but the story is violent, would you consider that a violent video game? Or if you're not, and whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's our favorite episodes from like 11 through 20?
Yeah, probably violence. I also liked having Josh on and talking about God of War.
Yeah, that was cool.
I think video game preservation was a really fun episode too. That was a good one.
I was gonna say having Brett from Lord to Death was fantastic. It's crazy to me that was in December. Like that.
I know.
We blew through like 6 months.
Yeah.
But also like,
and then we took like a little break.
Yeah, we did. I was gonna say the existential horror episode, I feel like, is great.
That was a good one.
That was a fun one.
It was fun. I do want to do more like, I do like the idea of doing seasonally themed episodes. But we just are bad at that. Because we'll go like 3 weeks
so much planning ahead.
Yeah, and like I travel with my job a lot, and sometimes I'll only have 24-hour notice. And
I travel a lot.
Yeah. And so we'll just miss some of those things. But it was very fun to talk about spooky things during the spooky season. I was a big fan of that.
It was.
When's Father's Day?
Sunday.
That's this Sunday?
June.
Yeah.
Good to know. I was going to say we could do some sort of like Father's Day themed episode. I don't know what that would mean, but...
Yeah.
Everybody play Shower with Your Dad Simulator.
What?
Don't worry about it. You've never heard of this game?
No.
All right. Let me see if I can.
Okay. I think one of my favorite things from doing this podcast was that I've learned how to edit videos, which is something that I was always really intimidated by. I'm not super proficient yet, but I do feel like I've learned quite a lot, to the point that I was making some pretty poorly performing TikToks for our channel, which was fun. And I'm not as intimidated by technology, which I know it's kind of silly because like I'm a gamer and this is a video game podcast, but I've always been kind of a technophobe with anything that I don't really know how to use. And so being on the show has given me the opportunity to practice different skills that I would not have otherwise had the patience to.
Yeah.
So Seth sent a link to the Showering with Your Dad simulator, and the first thing in the description is an epilepsy warning, which I think is funny.
For the record, I don't know anything about this game.
Okay.
Other than it was kind of like a meme about, I don't know, almost a decade ago.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, we'll definitely do an episode on this.
Never mind.
Interesting. I'm excited for our next guest that we're having on. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I do. I have really enjoyed all our guests. I do want to get more devs on. Like that's really funny. That's really fun. Is to like get an indie dev and like have like get a code from them, get a free game. Makes me feel super important. And then talking to them as someone who is, I feel like that's the most important things we do. Honestly, is talk to game devs, because like I love having I love us talking, and I love having our non-dev people on. But like on the hierarchy of like the importance of creation, actually making something is so much more important than like commenting on something. And that includes us.
Such an artist take.
I just want to say to all of our prior guests, you create things and you are important, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, yes. And I am much more like you guys. Like I am much like we are much more like akin,
like the lowly non-game devs.
but like
keep going, keep digging, Dempsey, you're going to get there.
But I do think like, but and like that's how I feel about like IGN and like even like bigger like gaming news outlets. Like whatever reviews they do is like fine, but like when they talk and get the perspective of like the people that are actually making the game, that's where I find a lot of the most meaning and impact in how I interact with games a lot of times. So yeah, our devs hold it. Even though I missed one of our devs, I was not there for that episode.
That
Is that
was
episode
fun
even out yet?
conversation.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
That was
it
a
is.
while ago. My bad.
yeah, Renee. But so that's been, and having kind of developing a little bit of a relationship with indie devs as well. That it's really cool. Like even the ones that we haven't had on, like that sad one where the girl is in World War II that I really liked.
Torn Away.
Torn Away, yeah, like Torn Away. Like they never came on the show, but we did message back and forth, and that was a really good experience as well.
It gives a sense of like legitimacy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dempsey, I think
we
all
got-
you just said is that like you're just seeking external validation, and like by making friends, that's like externally validating for you.
And at this stage, we just would like to redirect our dear listeners to the beginner's guide.
Yeah. And but yeah, and like even like if you follow us on TikTok, and like it's cool to jump in with Josh when he's streaming, and like
Oh yeah, super
and
super
be a part
fun.
of the community that way. Yeah, so that's, I think, how this, and listener emails. Always so happy. I think we need to start asking people like specific questions, and I know Seth wanted us to do this.
At like the
I think
start of our episode where people are actually going to hear them.
Yes, I think we need to start asking people specific questions at the beginning of our episodes. There was like, so I've been thinking a lot about like small online communities, which I think like that's what we are considered a part of, like a small piece in a small online community. So before Vlogbrothers blew up, they had a video. Do you know?
Yes. It's John and Hank Green.
So before John and Hank Green, who are Vlogbrothers, blew up, they were getting like 300, around 300 views an episode. And one of them went to the hospital and asked people to send, to email in with pictures of people putting like silly things on their head. And out of that like 300 views that video got, that was asking people to put funny things on their head or whatever, they got about 300 responses. And so just because communities are small, that doesn't mean that like you can't grow like even just the enthusiasm without necessarily the numbers, with like participation and things like that. And so I think one of the things I would like to do in the future is finding ways to like encourage more like of that participation, because I think that's where, that's what makes me most excited.
I think that's really fun too.
Can I
Yeah.
also just say I
It's
love
so-
Vlogbrothers? John Green just puts the most unhinged titles on his videos. I mean, they both do. Getting like, these are all videos within the past like 10 videos of theirs. Getting personal about getting personal. A midlife crisis. The people I hate most in the world. One of John Green's last 2 videos were How It All Ends, which is a crazy thing to title a video. And then his most recent video was titled Beef Days in all caps. I don't know what that means. I've yet to watch the video, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic because it's John Green. So that's my John Green plug.
That's good. Yeah, I think like definitely like looking at their early, obviously because they're incredibly famous, but looking at their early stuff, really, you know, like that kind of online experience, I didn't know was capable of existing. But it's been really nice to have some kind of positive online community. That's been really good.
I think so too. Like when I do jump into the Gamers Drink streams pretty frequently. He streams on Wednesdays usually. And when I jump in, like he's always so nice. He always gives me a shout out, gives the show a shout out, kind of makes a fuss, which is super kind. And then what gets me though is then people in the chat say, "Oh, I listen to Overthinking Games. Oh, I like Overthinking Games." And I'm like, people perceive us and know who we are and have listened to the show. I have been perceived. That's so cool. And it's just really encouraging to realize like there is sort of that back and forth going on. Like we are creating something and people are receiving it and thinking about it and hopefully enjoying it. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool to be like a part of something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you wish like that we do like in the next year or something like that? Like is there anything you want to try or experiment with?
I think it would be really fun to do more episodes like what we're going to do this week with Detroit Become Human, that like taking a game and then all playing it and talking about it specifically. I'm an English teacher. I'm a reader, all of those things. I love to look at story and like structure and like think about stories way too much. And so I think it'd be really fun to have more opportunities to do that, to talk about specific games and specific experiences maybe.
Yeah. I agree.
I was going to say, I think it'd be cool to like physically get out there again. I don't know what we're ever planning on actually doing with any of the footage, I guess. But like when I was at the convention, it was a ton of fun to like be representing us in like the physical real world.
Yeah, that was super cool.
So like some way that we could like potentially do that again, whether it's like a convention or like somehow getting out there would be
Dempsey
cool.
Dempsey thought that he lived 3 hours away from me and was like, we could go to the Salt Lake FanX Comic-Con in September. And I was like, yeah, that'd be super fun, but you don't live 3 hours away from me, just so you know. So
because the state of Wyoming exists.
Yes.
Did you know that Wyoming exists?
Wyoming is a place with landmass.
If Wyoming didn't exist, I would be a lot closer.
We'd be neighbors.
That's the thing.
And Pennsylvania is in the Midwest.
Definitely not true, but
so over the past year, do you feel like doing this podcast has changed the way that you play video games?
It's gotten me to play more video games. I was really stuck in a Warzone only rut for like 2 years, and being on this show, I was like, oh, I need to expand my horizons or I'll have nothing to talk about. So now I try to diversify a little bit more and to actually finish things. So it's been really good for me.
Yeah, I would say like, I think just being able to like sit down on at least like a semi-regular basis and like actually think about what I'm doing, rather than just like doing it, has made it so that like when I'm playing through something like this Paper Mario remake, I'm like, oh, this is like good game design. The fact that they like added these pipes in, or like I'm thinking about different aspects of the game and I'm like, oh, I think, here's how I would like run this achievement system, or like I'm thinking about like, hey, what are the different like mechanics in this game and like how are they interacting? Like I can actually sort of put some words to some like maybe deeper thoughts about like the systems I'm interacting with and how they work with the rest of the game, which is cool to do. It sort of feels like the difference between like, hey, I'm just reading a book versus like I'm reading a book for an English class and then we have to go talk about it. And I definitely think there's some to use an analogy, there's some books that you would like never read except it was for an English class, but like you read them, you talk about them in English class, and you're like, hey, that was cool. Like, I probably wouldn't have gone back and played Detroit if that was like not something that we were going to be talking about. But because like we were going to talk about it, I was like, oh, hey, like I'll go back through this. It's a game that like I was familiar with. My roommates played it in college, but like it had never piqued my interest. And I don't know if I would have like given up on the game halfway through if we weren't going to talk about it, but I easily could have seen myself being like, yeah, this just isn't like a super valuable experience to me otherwise.
Seth gets to talk about Detroit Become Human.
No, listen, that was it was a mistake. Once I had said it, I had to keep going.
It doesn't count because he's not
apologize.
getting into his actual thoughts and experiences with it, except for in this exact example where it's relevant, Dempsey.
Okay.
Well, how about you?
Yeah, so I want to make more and different kind of TikToks. TikToks are just a little bit more time consuming, but I really like the written ones that I've done. So on TikTok, some are clips from the podcast and some are ones that I write just for TikTok. And some are like mini video essays that people hate and disagree with everything I say on. And I think I want to do, I just want to experiment a little bit more with the different formats of the TikTok and things like that. I have a bunch of vinyls, and I want to like review the soundtracks of the game and then the game itself while I show the vinyl playing, like and show what the art and things like that on the vinyl, and stuff like that. I think is an idea that I want to do. I just have not had the time.
Has it changed how you play games?
Yeah. So I will definitely it not only changes the way that I play games, but I watch a lot more videos. Like I watch a lot more content about video games as well. Like a lot more video game essays and design docs and like GDC conference speakers or whatever. Like I just search that stuff a lot more now and interact with the gaming news cycle a little bit more closely. Even though we're not a news game, I think it's still helpful to keep current events in mind. Like the fact that that Detroit was a Sony game and Sony just did their state of play or whatever. Like that just gives me a little more context about how I feel about Quantic Dream as a studio. And so I care a little bit more about like the conversation about video games than I did prior. I'm very happy that we're not a news show. I think having to keep up would be really difficult for us, and
it wouldn't be any fun.
And they're never going to talk about fun things. Like it would be very rare to like have like this is how you cognitively scaffold in like the news cycle. like this is what literacy in video games looks like, or this is like how voice acting versus text box impacts your relationship to the narrative of the story. Like those are topics that I want to do, but those would never come up in the news cycle. So but yeah, I think it's changed mostly for the better how I interact with video games. I like that joy of knowing that I am going to be able to tell someone about it. Really, really elevates the experience. Like when I was playing Detroit Become Human, which I have a lot of opinions on, by the way. So many opinions on this game. Like even like the small things, like the fact that I'm going to have someone to talk about that with, like made that stick in my head and made the experience more real for me in a lot of ways. So yeah, I think doing this has made video games a lot more real.
I think it's from like we've talked about much earlier, in previous episodes that like gaming is such a communal experience, whether it's a single player game or a co-op game or a multiplayer game. Like it still is such a communal activity because of like the internet and sharing it, talking about it with people, like a book club sort of thing. And I think that that's what this has really become, in a lot of ways. Like I love that we have this space to talk about things that we just like. And I love that there are people who are interested in the things that we're interested in, and that it is that sort of like communal space to just talk about cool shit.
I was gonna say, I think one of the cool things that's also like come about from us doing this is we get to like share stuff. Like I don't know if we've ever like directly talked about it on the podcast, but like most of our guests who come on, we like buy them a copy of the beginner's guide and we like tell them to go play it. And part of that, like sort of like spreading the joy a little bit about like, hey, we all loved this game. We want you to be able to experience this too. I think Dempsey plays into a little bit about what you were saying about like, hey, there's like, we actually get to like experience these things with other people. And like, it's no longer like a solo adventure. It's like, hey, you all need to like try this.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. When we do have the gamers drink on, he's played the beginner's guide since we last saw him, so we should talk about that a little bit too.
We got to remember to mention it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, I think that's an episode. It's a little shorter today. This is very much midweek for us.
Yeah. We usually
I
record
called
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. We usually record like Thursday evening, and it's like Tuesday midday.
Yeah, which we will record on Thursday as well. That's when Josh is coming on. I called this specifically so I can get all the bullshit takes that I'm going to have on Detroit Human out of my system and have an adult conversation with our guest. But Katie put a scabosh to that, so I'm sorry, Josh. You're going to have to hear all my horrific takes on this game.
Listen, if we have to do a 2-hour episode on Thursday to get through all of our bullshit takes before we know what we're talking about, it'll be worth it.
Okay. What should we need to ask a specific question that people need to email us in?
What's a topic you think would be good for us to cover on the show?
Sure. Yeah. What in our year of podcasting, what's something that you cannot believe we have not talked about yet?
Hey, great question.
There you go. That's a great question. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Overthinking Games. Games where podcasts about... No. This has been Overthinking Games, a podcast about what video games can teach us. Send us an email. We have our email in the show notes, and you can find us on TikTok. If you would leave us a review, that would be great, on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.